Well, welcome. Good morning. Join us bright and early again on this Saturday morning today. Oh, climbing over my truck. Something a little bit different this morning. We are going to actually head over to a farm sale this morning. It's actually the farmer who has the neighbouring land to where we were harvesting just last week. He after about 40 years of practice, he's retiring, so he's gonna have a big estate sale today. The farmer is called Brian. I've been lucky enough to know him for quite some time, and he's actually got a few bits of equipment that I would like to go and have a look at myself. And I'm very interested in buying some of those, and I've been able to ask him to see if I could go along and just have a little look on my own before the sale begins today. Get a bit of a close look at the machinery, and then we can kind of make a decision on if we want to go ahead with that. So we're just going to head back down there. It's going to be another kind of 20-minute drive, and yeah, I'll see you on the other side when we're a little bit closer. Okay, so welcome back. We're about 5 minutes away. We're heading in a different direction to the one we took with the combine the other day, avoiding the dual carriageway, which is going around some back lanes. We're going to go kind of skirt around the perimeter of the farm. We're not going to go through the yard. I believe the farm sale itself is actually just in a little paddock off of the buildings, so we don't need to go through the yard or anything. I haven't spoken to Brian this morning. He gave me permission to actually come up and have a wander around the sale site, just so I can get a closer look at some of the machinery he actually has on sale here, because I want to just get a bit of a closer inspection of them before the sale actually commences. The sale is supposed to be, I believe it starts at noon today, so I've got about an hour and a half. Just have a wander around while there's a few people there to get a better look, because I'm not actually going to be able to stay here for the sale. I'm going to have someone do some bidding for me, so I need to figure out what my top price would be for a specific piece of kit. So yeah, we'll have a quick look through all of this, and then I'm gonna go and have a drive down and look at some of the new land that I've acquired over here as well, just to see how fit that is for drilling. I want to get a cover crop put into that pretty soon. But here we are. Let's see what we've got on offer today. Probably just gonna park the truck up and have a wander. I think just leave it over here. Okay. So a little bit about Brian. His farm here was approximately, I think he had about 400 acres of land all in. But he also did quite a lot of contracting for other farmers, hence the reason some of his equipment's a bit bigger than what you would perhaps expect for a small to medium-sized operation. But what he really did that I admired a lot was maintain his equipment very, very well. You can see as you look around here, all of the tractors and all the machinery is immaculate, really. There's not a fleck of paint missing off any of them, which is really impressive. Even these two fence here, which one's this one? We've got a favourite 824, and I think that one's a little bit smaller, maybe an 822. They look brand new almost, and these are probably best part 10, 11 years old. Pickup hitch is immaculate there. There's no wear on any of the joints. Everything's been replaced where necessary. Kept nice and clean, just a bit of mud on the tyres, and that's it. So it's really a nice piece of equipment. I'm going to have a quick look in this one, see if you left the keys in. Lovely. So yeah, once again, same thing applies inside. This is beautifully well maintained, very nice machine. You can see the early semblance of the Fendt controls here. They really were the pioneers for bringing in more advanced electronics into the cab. So this is really the beginning of that, and it does start to look a little bit different from the kind of early to mid 90s tractors where it was all levers. But yeah, so it's looking very nice. How does it sound if it starts? Yeah, it's purring over nicely. Very good. Okay. So this is again the same. This one's a little bit smaller, but does have a front linkage on there. I think this big one here was his main cultivation tractor. He pulled a big rig of a deep cultivator with that one. And then he is a big fan of the Ico brands, as you can see, with a lot of Massey's, a lot of fencing here. And then he went to the dark side and picked up a Massey 7722. But again, in immaculate condition. Looks like it's barely got any use to it. This combine looks pretty new as well. I think last time he upgraded this combine was 2 seasons ago, so I think this has had 2 years into it, and it again looks like it's hardly seen any work. It's in fantastic nick. I'm not looking to buy that today. That's going to be a little bit out of my price range. I don't think the accountant would let me go for that one somehow. But we'll move on. Nice. The Roche fertilizer spinner. That's always a nice spinner. Very sharp looking Kuhn sprayers. So there's a couple of cultivation pieces here I'm looking into. I need to find. First thing I really like the looks of is his rollers here. I need a good set of rollers. We're going to be looking into, as I mentioned previously in a recent video, we're looking into increasing our direct drilling and our minimum tillage operations here on our farm. So having a good set of rollers is important to be able to compact the seed bed after we've planted. Maintains moisture in the ground to allow for a good germination. And so my last set of rollers were sent away off the farm due to old age. Really, they were not in a good condition, and spent more time welding them in the workshops than we did actually using them. So be very interested to see what price these fetch. I'm gonna have one of my trusted associates coming down and have a look at this, and I'm gonna give him the price to go for, and hopefully we can get these in the region of about 10,000. That'd be fantastic if we could do that. Similarly, if we look just over here, we've got the slightly deeper cultivation with the horse here. Now, with the horse, the thing I like about this cultivator is that we have the ability to kind of alter the depth, so we can work in the top couple of inches of topsoil, and if you want to dig down a bit into the subsoil, then you have the ability with our slightly deeper chisel plows on here. So this is something I'm always looking into. Again, it's in immaculate condition. There's no wear on any of the wearing metals on the points here. Everything looks very good there. No wear or warp on any of the rams. Quite often a lot of stress goes to these hydraulic rams here and down there. So it's good to see that that's not going to be the case. All the metals look very good. So yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on this one, see how it goes. Now this drill here, I don't need a drill at the moment, but this is a very nice drill. This is very recently acquired by Brian to his fleet, and I believe this won an award for I think it was either in the Farmers Weekly or it was Profi. Won an award for outstanding machinery or implement or something like that, but it was definitely well recognized in its field, no pun intended. But this is the great thing about this drill, is that it does have the ability to be a direct drill, or can work on pre-worked cultivated land. So if it is a bit of a hybrid in that respect, so you are able to just put this straight behind the combine really, and kind of would be ideal for our 5-minute fallow that we're going to be looking into over the coming seasons. But it's just going to be a little bit out my price range right now. I want to do a little bit more trial and error and practice with my current setup, and then if we deem it's going to be necessary, then we can always look into investing in probably one a bit slightly wider drill. This is about 3 meters. I could do with a 4 or 5, I would say. But yeah, it's certainly a very smart piece of kit indeed. So the old Smith trailer, sorry. These are another huge hauling trailer, all fitted with air brakes. Probably 60k or 50k guaranteed road speed on there, and I think this must be a steady 14-ton trailer at the very least. It's immaculate. But this is the other piece of kit I was looking at. Now it doesn't look like much, but I fancy, and I feel like I need to have a trailer on the yard that I can use for mucking out the cattle, transporting anything from hardcore, topsoil, any rubbish around the yard, then tidying up. And I feel like I want to have something that I don't have to be too concerned about the interior condition. If we jump up, I'm sure Brian's kept it immaculate once again, but I don't want to put any unnecessary risk on my grain trailers. They have enough work to do as they are, so I don't want to batter those around anymore. Well, something like this, which has a nice hydraulic door on the back, probably still get a good 12 ton in here when it's loaded up properly. Would be pretty ideal. And again, it's in fantastic condition. A good solid tyres on there. Could maybe get some wider tyres on there just for a bit of flotation. Ability to put something on the back, but yeah, all in all, it's in good shape. So I'll be very interested about this. We'll probably have a cheeky bid on this one as well. See if we can snaffle this away for a good price. Again, another brand new low load. I don't really have a need for one of those at the moment. I would always like it, but again, I don't think the bank manager would allow it. Huge muck spreader. Typically at the moment I tend to lease a muck spreader when I need it. It's a piece of equipment that I don't need very often. On our farm we'll lead the muck out there from the cattle sheds and leave it to stacked up in a side of a field somewhere for usually about 6 to 12 months. So at this stage I don't feel the need in investing in a muck spreader just yet. Of course Brian had one because he was focusing a little more on the contracting side, so that was a good form of investment for himself. Oh, that's the same brake I have, the same tether I have. Nice little coon tether. And he's got his mowers here. That's a very nice new Lely mower, to be fair. Really nice. Won't beat my Pottingers, but it's looking like a very sharp mower. Oh, we even share the same brake as well. Man's got great taste. Now, New Holland balers, I have a bit of an issue with New Holland balers. If you're trying to put through a lot of heavy wet grass crop, there's a lot of poor reliability and reliability concerns raised with this here pickup. Sometimes you'll find that inside this casing here we have the chain drive for the pickup, and it tends to stretch a lot and it tends to snap and cause a lot of issues when you're trying to push through a large heavy crop. So it's something I would steer away from. As I mentioned previously, my Krone square baler is starting to suffer a little bit, starting to show signs of age, and it is almost at that age where I'd want to think about swapping it out, but we're not quite there yet. We'll probably try to squeeze one more crop out of it next season, and then we'll probably look into a replacement. I'm just going to have a sit in this combine. Let's see if it's open now. Oh, it looks like the mist is coming in. We might be in for a bit of a wet morning here. Okay. Wow, very nice. I think he's got a 35-foot cutter bar on here. It's huge. The one thing I don't like about this is that the computer monitor here, I was going to call it CBUS, but that's in a class, right in the way. You can't see what the far right hand corner of the header is doing. You can't see how the feed's coming in there because the damn monitor's right in the way. Very peculiar. But other than that, again, a lovely piece of equipment, very well cleaned down as well, I must admit. I know personally he's taken about, I think Brian put about 600-700 acres of cereals through that this year, so he's done very well there. Alright then, so we'll just have a look, see how these 3 bits of kit do. I'm going to have a chat with one of my good friends, Colin, who's going to come along. He's going to be having keeping an eye on those few bits and pieces for me. Oh, new silage grab as well. Yeah, that looks good. Don't really have any need for it on our farm as we use bales, but yeah. And the Merlot looks in good condition. Let's look on the inside. Yeah. Clean, tidy. Telehandlers always get ravaged inside. That's what you've always got to keep an eye on for those. Such a machine where you're in and out frequently, it does get a bit of a hammering. Very good. So, what we're going to do, we're going to have a quick chat with Colin, see what he can do for me. Let him loose with my checkbook, I suppose. Let's have one more quick drive through here. And then now, as we're in the area, we're going to go and have a drive over to look at some of the new land that I acquired next to the field of spring barley I just finished recently. And we're just going to see what the general status is, see how the ground's shaping up. I want to sooner or later put a cover crop in there, but I don't want it to be too wet when I do that, because I just end up making more mess. So I'm gonna have to have a quick look, see how we're faring up. But yeah, we'll definitely keep tabs on the sale for as the morning progresses. So we're gonna go left out of here. I'll get some lights on. So in terms of the farmland itself, I'm not sure. I believe Brian's keeping hold of the entitlements and he in the deeds, and he's just going to rent out the land. Whoops. Okay. So the field to our over the hedge on the right there was the first field that we acquired, and the first field that we actually cut last week. So that's looking good. That's going to get a crop put in there very quickly. Obviously, as you can see now, it's not going to happen anytime soon. Good old British weather. And then, so the second one, we've just gone past the gate there. Let's just get pulled over. Gates. So it was when Brian was finishing up with it, he did strip it out. I think he had wheat in here, and he's run it over the cultivator, which he didn't really need to do, but he has done anyway. God bless him. It is quite light land. It is quite light sandy land, which is fantastic for drainage. It does mean that we're going to want to hold a little bit of moisture in here though, just to start with, and thankfully we've got plenty of it coming down today. So it is ready for us to put a cover crop into, as is this one over there on the far side, that grassy bank, is the wheat field we were in last week, or spring barley, sorry, field we were in last week. So that is ready to be drilled as well. The good news about that field of spring barley, I got the samples back from the lab there the other day. The protein levels were sufficient enough within the sample that the crop can go for malting barley, which is fantastic because it means that we do get a contracted price. We don't take a financial hit. If we were to have had to accept a lower grade, the animal feed grade, we would have taken about a £5 a ton hit on the overall price. So that's good news. We've avoided that. And it'd be nice to get that check when it comes through. So yeah, this is a nice sized field here. It's nice and dry, ready to go. And then we're just going to have a wander over next one further up. Still got the for sale sign up here as well. I need to take that down. Put this great big concrete blocks on the bottom of it. This one got a little bit smaller. This one's about 6 or 7 acres, but we'll take this one on as well. It's just a shame there's a great big old stone wall in the middle, so I can't pull the combine straight through. Left fallow over the summer there, and over the spring there it was ploughed over and just left. So it'll be nice and easy to break down by the time we come to put a crop in here. So we will put our winter our cover crop in here, and then we might look to try and get a winter crop in at the end of the month or so. But yeah, so it's a nice little size field. This is like I say, this one here is about, I think it's about 6.5, 7 acres. This one here is a little bit more than that. This is about the 14, and then you've got about the 15 acre field at the very end there, which was the one we harvested. So a nice little plot of land here. We always do look to try and keep adding to our portfolio when it's possible and when it's efficient to do so. But yeah, that's it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to head back. Got a few things to do around the yard. Well, thankfully it's wet, miserable weather to do it in. And I will keep you posted how the farm sale goes when I know more. And hopefully you'll see some new bits of kit with us very shortly. Until the meantime, please do feel free to comment, rate, and subscribe. Let me know what you'd like to see moving forward. I'm always very interested to see and hear your opinions. And yeah, until next time, happy farming.